What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Israel Adesanya goes off on Sean Strickland. After the heated exchanges between Israel Adesanya and Sean Strickland during the UFC 276 Fight Week press conference, it's no surprise that the two men will both be looking to make a statement when they collide in the UFC 293 main event on September 9th. With just over a week to go until the two men share the stage during the press conference leading up to the fight, the middleweight kingpin has issued a fierce prediction regarding how things will play out. During a recent appearance for Stake.com, the champ told MMA Fighting,
I'm gonna paint my nails and knock him out. That vision right there, that gets me up. That's what motivates me, because I've had that vision of having my nails painted, knocking them out, and then just showing my nails to the camera. Look, with my frosted tips, I knocked this out. So that vision right there, to make that vision come true, I've done everything in my power, and I'm doing everything in my power to make sure I knock this guy out.
With the fight rapidly approaching, Adesanya has held his spot as a strong favorite on the betting odds, with Strickland remaining a heavy underdog. Whether or not fans are in for a big upset come fight night, only time will tell. Shout out to our first comments on yesterday's video. Thanks for the support. Can Sean O'Malley become the pound-for-pound king? Sean O'Malley's UFC 292 win over Aljamain Sterling led to the newly crowned champ making a splash on the pound-for-pound rankings, coming in at number 8 on the official leaderboard. Despite the monumental victory, O'Malley's coach, Tim Welsh, was reminded that the duo still have quite a bit of work to do when he saw Sugar Sean's place among the best of the best. During a recent episode of the Red Hawk Recap, Welsh spoke about O'Malley's future and the lofty goals ahead.
Pound for pound list, Sean O'Malley, number 8. It's weird because it's like, oh, you made it. It's like, we made it to the first goal. The first goal is the championship. But now it's like, let's see if we can make him the greatest of all time. Like where there's this like Volk status.
Although he currently holds UFC gold, O'Malley finds himself behind former pound-for-pound kingpin Kamaru Usman and former lightweight champion Charles Oliveira. The top 5 spots are all held by current champions, with John Jones sitting atop the list and Alexander Volkanovski sitting just below him in the number 2 spot. On the flip side, Aljamain Sterling saw his spot on the list drop as a result of the UFC 292 loss. From the sounds of things, the two will meet again in the future once the Funkmaster returns from a much-needed vacation. With a number of exciting fights on the table and no shortage of top contenders, who do you want to see the newly crowned champion defend his title against? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Alex Pereira goes off on Anthony Smith. Alex Pereira didn't take too kindly to Anthony Smith's recent comments regarding his 205-pound debut, firing back at Lionheart in a rather uncharacteristic rant during a video for his YouTube channel, where Poatan questioned what Smith has against him. This guy is frustrated because I'm already making good money, going for another championship, entering another weight class, Pereira said. All eyes are now on me, and he's stuck in a rut just the way he is. He has to keep criticizing fighters, maligning them just for a bit of recognition and to make himself look better. With Smith fresh off another win over Ryan Spann, Lionheart could also be looking to secure himself a fight with the former 2-division Glory kickboxing champion. After dropping 2 straight fights, Smith returned to the win column in a big way this past weekend, proving Hall of Famer Daniel Cormier wrong. During a recent video for his YouTube channel, the former 2-division champ spoke about Smith's win, praising him for proving him wrong.
Because guys, I thought Anthony Smith was done, as did so many others. We thought that this was a guy that was going out there and fighting, making money, but had kind of lost the idea that he could be one of the best in the world. He never said that, but we as the talking heads in the world thought Anthony Smith was done. He proved tonight that that fighting spirit is still there.
Whether or not these two wind up sharing the octagon in the future, only time will tell. UFC fights canceled. Fans will miss out on 2 exciting fights this weekend at UFC Fight Night Paris as a result of withdrawals. This week, reports surfaced that Lucas Almeida had been forced out of his bout versus William Gomez, a local fighter who was sure to garner plenty of fan support. In addition, Muin Gafarov has also been forced out of his fight with French fighter Taylor Lapillus as the result of visa issues. The UFC has been on the hunt for replacement opponents for the 2 French stars in order to keep them on the card. However, with just days to go until the event is set to take place, they could be hard-pressed to find 2 fighters willing to step in. Of course, recently, the promotion has continued to pull fighters set to compete on upcoming Dana White's Contender Series cards to fill last-minute openings, meaning they could still manage to find suitable replacements in time. With just days to go until the event, stay tuned for updates as they become available. Before we continue, make sure you give that like button some love and be sure to subscribe to the MMA Zone for all of the latest news. Dana White breaks silence on UFC returns. Reports have continued to surface regarding a potential return to action for former women's bantamweight champion Ronda Rousey. With UFC 300 looming on the horizon, the promotion will be looking to bring the biggest stars in the sport together for one grand event. According to UFC President Dana White, who spoke earlier this month about the rumors, there's no truth to the claims. However, with that being said, an anonymous source close to Rousey spoke with the Daily Mail, pouring fuel on the metaphorical fire while claiming that Rousey is mulling over a return to the octagon. She just had a match at SummerSlam and is looking to wind down her time and commitments with the WWE, and she is now focusing on potentially making a run to have one last fight in the UFC and compete at UFC 300 when that presents itself sometime next year. At the same time, Rousey's ex-boyfriend, former UFC heavyweight Brendan Schaub, has claimed that he has heard that the UFC made quite an offer to the former champ. During a recent video for his Schaub show, he opened up on the rumors.
I'll say this, I have on good authority, they offered Ronda Rousey more money than you can imagine to come back, and she said no.
From the sounds of things, with Rousey unlikely to come back, the UFC will have to look elsewhere for star power. In addition to former champ Conor McGregor, the name that has continued to circulate is Brock Lesnar, who notably fought at UFC 100 and UFC 200. Despite that, UFC President Dana White reiterated during a recent interview with Sports Illustrated that despite Lesnar looking fit, he doesn't see the former WWE champion returning for another fight inside the octagon. Brock looks good, doesn't he? He always does. I think Brock's done. I don't think he ever comes back. With plenty of questions and few answers, it'll be interesting to see what the UFC has up its sleeve for UFC 300. Gilbert Burns predicts Khamzat Chimaev versus Paulo Costa. At UFC 294, Khamzat Chimaev will make his highly anticipated return to the octagon to compete against former title challenger Paulo Costa. Ahead of the bout, many fans are eager to see whether Chimaev can make a splash in the middleweight division by defeating a top-ranked fighter like Costa. According to Gilbert Burns, the winner of the fight will largely be determined by which man can implement their game plan. During a recent Q&A session in Singapore, the former title challenger gave his thoughts on the fight, saying,
I think Khamzat will come with a lot of pressure to try to take Costa down. If he's able, it's going to be a big problem for Costa. But if Costa defended, he can get away and use the striking, it's going to be a long night for Khamzat. I think it's a very close fight and it will be decided on the clinch. If Khamzat can take him down, Khamzat wins. But if Costa can defend it and use the striking, then Costa wins. So very close fight.
With middleweight champion Israel Adesanya itching for new contenders in the division, it's safe to say that a win would immediately insert Chimaev into the title picture at 185 pounds. The question is, do you think he has what it takes to overcome ring rust and defeat Paulo Costa? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. And now for our breaking news story of the day. We have Sean O'Malley reacting to the news of him cheating on a recent podcast. Here's what he had to say.
It said I can cheat on my wife because I'm the king and I pay for everything. You see that going viral as
Yeah, I saw it.
It's fire. Vitor Belfort messaged me. He wants to kick my ass. I don't know which one it was. I think it was a clip from the Brad one, I think. But yeah, Vitor's gonna beat my ass now. But I mean, relationships are relationships. They work or they don't. We've been together for what, 8 years or some shit, doing good. So it's like you get married, you can have a girlfriend, you live this one way. Any other way is not okay. It doesn't work for everyone like that. And people just like, I'm just out there trying to get pussy every day, every week. I literally went out with the boys Saturday, didn't get puss. Could have had options, just didn't. Not because I just didn't really care to, but I was able to. I could have. Yeah, people just want to what am I trying to say? Misinterpret. Yeah, things.
What do you think about this situation? Let us know in the comments below. Top comments. Bruh, did Ilia Topuria really just say he thinks Max Holloway needs to retire at age 31 while being one of the most dominant fighters in the history of the division? And after having one of his best performances against a legend of the sport? What is he smoking? Apparently, Dana Family Safety is worth the $2,500, but the Nelk Boy's birthday is worth $200,000. LOL. Aljo didn't get the belt the right way, but he did defend it correctly. And for that, I feel like he should get a rematch, in my opinion. If you want to be featured on our next video, make sure to leave a comment and don't forget to check out yesterday's video in case you missed it.